Did you know that if you're earning minimum wage, you'd have to work 97 hours a week to afford a modest one-bedroom rental in most US states? That's more than 2 full-time jobs. Imagine grinding through the week, clocking in double the standard work hours, only to find out that you're still struggling to make ends meet. For millions of Americans living on minimum wage, this isn't just a thought experiment, it's reality. It's a constant juggling act, trying to balance work, personal life, and basic needs on a paycheck that just doesn't stretch far enough. The gap between income and living costs isn't just wide, it's a yawning chasm. And it's not just about paying rent. We're talking groceries, utilities, transportation, healthcare, the essentials that we often take for granted. So, are you ready for a reality check? In the next few minutes, let's walk a mile in the shoes of a minimum wage earner. Imagine waking up each day knowing that every penny counts. It's a reality for millions of people who earn a minimum wage. The alarm rings, and the day begins. The first choice of the day is breakfast, and it's a balancing act between nutrition and cost. Maybe it's a bowl of cereal or a piece of toast, but it's always something affordable and filling. Then comes the commute, another major decision. A car? Too expensive. A bus pass? Still a significant chunk out of the budget. So, walking or biking becomes the transportation of choice, rain or shine. This isn't just a morning commute, it's a daily marathon, a test of endurance and resolve. Work is a whirlwind of activity. Every hour is precious, every break, a chance to rest weary feet. Lunchtime is another tightrope walk, a meal deal from the local store, maybe. But often, it's a homemade sandwich or leftovers from last night's dinner. After work, it's back to the daily marathon, back home, back to the budget. Leisure time isn't about going out or buying new things, it's about making the most of what's already there. Maybe it's a borrowed book or a movie on free-to-air TV. Dinner is another act of culinary creativity. It's about stretching a tight budget to make a meal that's both tasty and filling. It's not gourmet, but it's made with effort and love. And then, it's time for bed. The day is done, the budget hopefully intact. Tomorrow the dance begins again. The choices, the compromises, the constant calculations. It's a lifestyle that demands resilience, resourcefulness, and a whole lot of courage. As you can see, living on a minimum wage is a constant juggling act. It's not just about surviving, it's about finding small joys, cherishing simple pleasures, and making every penny count. It's a lesson in humility, a testament to human resilience, and a reminder of the value of every hard-earned dollar. Making ends meet on a minimum wage is not just a matter of good budgeting. It's a high-stakes balancing act, a game of financial Jenga where every move could topple your careful arrangement. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario. Picture a monthly income that's a mirror of the federal minimum wage. Now let's line up the usual suspects of monthly expenses: rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, healthcare, maybe a little something for entertainment. Each one, a piece of the puzzle that should fit neatly into our income picture. But here's the catch. More often than not, these pieces don't fit. The rent might take up more than a third of the income, a chunk that financial advisors would say is too much. Utilities and groceries, they're non-negotiables, right? But they too can eat up a significant portion. Transportation, whether it's public transit or fuel for your car, that's another essential that adds to the pile. And what about healthcare? It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. But often it becomes a choice between getting that prescription filled or paying for groceries. And let's not forget, we're all human, we need to unwind, to have a little fun. But on a minimum wage, entertainment becomes a luxury, not a given. Now consider this. What if an unexpected expense comes up? A car repair, a medical emergency, a sudden hike in rent. These are the wild cards that can bring the whole tower crashing down. Where does the money for these come from? Saving money, that golden rule of personal finance, becomes a Sisyphean task. Every penny saved feels like a victory, but one unexpected bill can wipe out months of careful scrimping and saving. It's a constant stress, a never-ending worry, always at the back of your mind. The challenge is real, and it's not about lack of discipline. It's about navigating a system that often feels like it's stacked against you. It's about making impossible choices and hoping that the tower doesn't come crashing down. It's about survival, plain and simple. So, how does one survive on a minimum wage? The answer lies in cost-saving strategies. Picture this, you've got a limited budget and your stomach is growling. Rather than reaching for that tempting takeout menu, channel your inner Gordon Ramsay and cook at home. It's not just about saving pennies. Home cooking gives you control over what goes into your food, and that's a win for your wallet and your waistline. Now let's talk about getting around town. We all love the convenience of a private vehicle or a rideshare, But have you considered public transportation? It's not just for globe-trotting backpackers. It's a cost-effective way to get from point A to point B, and you might even make a new friend or two along the way. Plus, it's a small but impactful step towards reducing your carbon footprint. Next up, let's explore the art of buying in bulk. When it comes to non-perishable goods like toilet paper or canned beans, buying in bulk can be a real money saver. But before you start filling your cart with enough pasta to feed an army, remember, only buy what you need. The key to buying in bulk is to avoid waste. Now, these are all practical tips, but let's dive a little deeper. Financial literacy is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Understanding how to manage your money, how to save, and how to invest. These are skills that can help you navigate the choppy waters of a minimum wage budget. It's about making informed decisions and being proactive about your financial future. But let's be real, these strategies can help you stretch your budget further, but they're not a magic solution. Living on a minimum wage is tough, and no amount of bulk buying or home cooking can change that. What they can do, however, is give you a bit more control over your finances, and maybe even a little peace of mind. These strategies can make a difference, but they're not a magic solution. Living on a minimum wage is not an easy task, and it's not meant to be a long-term situation. And that's the sobering truth. Living on a minimum wage is like trying to swim upstream in a river that's hell-bent on pushing you back. It's a stark reality that many people face every day, and we've only scratched the surface of it. In the past 24 hours, we've seen firsthand the challenges of making ends meet on a shoestring budget. We've grappled with the harsh decisions of what to buy, what to sacrifice, and the constant weighing of needs against wants. But this isn't just a story of struggle. It's also a story of resilience, of making do with what's available, and finding creative ways to stretch every dollar. It's a testament to the human spirit's ability to adapt and survive, even in the most difficult of circumstances. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. As a society, we need to advocate for a living wage, a wage that allows people to live, not just survive. A wage that acknowledges the dignity of work and the value each person brings to the table. But change doesn't happen overnight. In the meantime, we can support local businesses that treat their employees fairly. We can be mindful of where our money goes and choose to invest in companies that prioritize their employees' well-being over their bottom line. This experience has taught us more than just the value of money. It's taught us the importance of empathy, of understanding the struggles others face. It's taught us to appreciate the things we often take for granted. A warm meal, a comfortable bed, the luxury of choice. And perhaps most importantly, it's taught us that we have the power to make a difference. How we choose to spend our money can have a real impact on people's lives. So let's use this newfound knowledge to drive change. Let's advocate for fair wages, support local businesses, and make conscious, ethical choices with our spending. Remember, understanding the struggle of others helps us appreciate our blessings and motivates us to make a difference.